97.9 The Box is the Madd Hatta Morning Show. In the studio with Dalelynn Settle. Well, first of all, welcome to the show. Congratulations. One of our bosses came in and said, Hatta, have you seen the latest People magazine? This young lady from H-Town is all up in there because she lost so much weight. That's amazing. So tell me, first of all, she is from H-Town, have 4 kids, a wonderful husband, and you lost a lot of weight. How and why? Tell me the story about all that.
All right. So thank you guys for having me. I have lost 145 to 150 pounds. I say 145 to 150 depending on what I ate. If I ate real good that week, it just depends. So about 145 to 150. At my highest, I was 302 pounds.
That's you?
That's me.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. That's me. So at my highest, like I said, I was 302 pounds. And I got there from just a lot of different things. I was not overweight as a child, wasn't heavy growing up. I actually got married when I was 20, and then I had my first child. Our first daughter was due on the day of my wedding anniversary the next following year. So within a year, I was pregnant, and just a lot of life changes. I dealt with anxiety and depression. Was on medication for 5 years for my depression and anxiety. And so that caused the weight gain as well as just being a stay-at-home mom. It wasn't by choice. New husband, he had to work. Somebody had to watch the baby. So it was me. I felt like all my hopes, my dreams, everything that I aspired to be was just like slowly fading out of my grip. And so I was a worship leader. I wasn't writing music anymore. I wasn't singing at church anymore. I wasn't passionate about anything. And so that was around the time that the weight started to creep up. At my heaviest, like I said, I was 302 pounds. How I found out that I was 302 pounds was on January the 2nd, 2014. My sister passed away from an aortic dissection. She was 34 years old, and literally the aorta, that vessel that leads to the heart, burst instantly. Medical examiner said between 8 and 20 seconds.
Now, was it because of her eating habits? Was she overweight?
Well, Nikki, no, absolutely. She's a part of my story. I always tell people that Nikki's death saved my life. Nikki was she had lost about 130 pounds on her own. But because my family is predisposed to high blood pressure and all other types of, sicknesses and diseases, people always say that high blood pressure just runs in our family. And I'm like, no, the problem is nobody runs in our family. Like, that's the reason why we are where we are. So Nikki started to change her life. She started to change her diet, but still in that amount of time, she still had high blood pressure. Matter of fact, the day that she died, the next following day, she had a doctor's appointment, and the doctor's office called our house to confirm. They called my mom and was like, we're confirming Nikki's appointment. And, my mom's like, she passed away. So mind you, when she passed away, we didn't know the cause of death instantly. They just tell us to get to the hospital. There's an emergency. Just come to the hospital. We get there. They tell us that she passes away. They bring her in the room. She just looked like she sleep. She just looks like my sister's resting. And so it took about an 8-week time period to find out what her cause of death was. Once we found out what her cause of death was, it felt like it had happened all over again.
Could it have been prevented?
There's a possibility that it could have been prevented according to the medical examiner if her blood pressure was regulated on the check. Wow. Her blood pressure got so high, it was like that vessel was just pressing and it burst. Like it's just her blood pressure literally caused that aortic vessel to burst.
So even with her working out and trying to change her life, was it that it didn't happen soon enough? It was too much, too little, too late? I hate to say it like that.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Wow. And the fact that she could have possibly been put on blood pressure medication to help regulate her pressure and then slowly weaned off of it. But it was just so high. And there are other little contributing factors that cause aortic dissections. But when she passed away, I became like some type of researcher. Like I just started researching about, aortic dissections and started researching about high blood pressure. And I instantly knew that this was going to change my life. Like it didn't take, a lot of people ask me, how long did it take for you? No, it was instant. It was like, okay.
You just changed your diet. You changed your eating habits. You changed your working out regimen. All this just changed because of your research and your sister passing away.
That's exactly, like everybody talks about anybody who loses a large amount of weight, all of the lovely ladies in the story, we've all become friends and we all have these like aha moments. One of the ladies talks about how she was like 8 months pregnant and didn't know she was pregnant. She delivered her baby.
Yeah, that's
great. Shout out to my girl Liz. But my story was like, that was my aha moment. You hear people talking about, I couldn't fit in this seat. Well, mine was bigger than just sitting down in the seat. I literally lost a sibling, a best friend. So to have that happen, it didn't take, I'm going to get myself together in due time. Like that moment, the old me came back. It was like instantly I found my drive.
But even going through that, though, you can still get to a point where you're trying to do this, but you can't achieve your goal.
Right.
But did you ever meet a place? Did you even ever meet that median in a row where I just can't do this anymore? Or you were just so focused, like, this is what I'm going to do?
Every day. Really? Every day I wanted to quit.
Okay.
Because you have, like, a lot of people don't understand that when you're dealing with anxiety and depression, life triggers actually triggers the depression and anxiety even more. So my husband was the type of father that, or he was the type of husband that he didn't know what to do for me. He was like, I'm willing to do whatever I can for her. So he would come home on his lunch break, and my daughter would be like laying in her, her playpen or whatever, and he would like feed her and take care of her on his lunch break because we lived where we worked. And so we worked at an apartment complex, and he was the leasing agent there at the time. And so he would come on his lunch break and take care of Kendall so that I was just like not able to function at times.
Wow.
And so he did that for years. I have pictures of them having tea parties in the kitchen, like on the floor, and it would like all the dolls and stuff, and he would text them to me and say, this is what we're doing right now, because I didn't have any drives to get up and go. And so when I started this journey, it wasn't like instantly my health came back and my mental, stability was there. I mean, there were days that I wouldn't get up. It was definitely a struggle, and I believe in the power of prayer. And so there were times where he would ask me, "Is there anything I could do for you?" And I would say no, and I would say, "Are you eating today?" He'd say, "No, I'm fasting for you. I'm praying for you." And literally, her death and prayer saved my life.
Well, let me ask you, because you have the husband over here.
Yeah.
You're going through this process. You watching her go through this. What's going through your mind as husband and father?
I mean, it's literally just like.
I'm sorry. Tell everybody your name, who you are. We just jump right into it.
My name's Dave the DJ, David Settle. But yeah, man, it's literally just like a lifesaver. It's you see somebody that you love struggling, and you know what they want, you know what they need, and so you literally say.
Were you able to give it though? And was that person able to receive it? Because sometimes they ain't ready to receive what you're willing to give.
Yeah, no, not all the time. Not all the time. Because you can't just walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, you need to like stop eating ice cream," or let's go run. Like, don't nobody want to go run.
Right.
So you have to find other creative ways to try to like insert positivity and inspiration and just being there. I tell her all the time, like, I was just present. So whenever a need did arise, I was there. It was just a matter of being available and being present, because you couldn't like. She's the type of person that she's so determined, and she knows what she needs to do, and whenever you can't tell her what to do, but whenever she's ready to do it, she's gonna do it. So I just had to make myself available to be there.
Did you feel crippled at any time though? Because sometimes when you want to help somebody and you can't help them the way that you know you can help them, they ain't ready to receive
down.
it. Okay,
hands down. Especially as a man, like you want to like
that's your
fix
job.
everything. You want to fix it,
Yeah.
And whether it's money, whether it's emotional support, whatever it is, you just want to fix it. And there were times where she was like, "Look, there's nothing you can do."
What kept you then? Because a lot of people during times like this, when it's hard, they have a tendency to give up.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't help her. I'm going to take care of my kids, and I'm going to bail out.
I saw something in her when we first got married, and it was what I see now. Like, I saw this before.
Okay, you got her. You ain't got to add on the extra smooth. You got her.
I wasn't overweight when we got together.
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
So you watched her get heavier.
Yeah.
And during this whole time, you never say, "Hey, babe."
We talked about it, and we would sit and watch The Biggest Loser together and eat ice cream while watching The Biggest Loser.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So we both were going through struggles. Like, it wasn't like she was just the only one depressed. Like, I was working a deadbeat job, making $30,000 a year. Thank God we got out of that.
Sure.
E.T. the hip hop preacher, we 6 figures now. No, but yeah, I was depressed too, because as a man, like I wasn't making the type of income that I thought I should be making.
So you thought you were failing your family as well.
Exactly. And like she said, we got married so young. And, there were a lot of things and tools that we didn't necessarily have to start. We shouldn't have been starting a family that early,
So what kept you all together? There has to be something else that keeps you together.
Jesus.
Come on.
Right.
That's really it. Like she said, man, when I didn't know what to do, I prayed.
I think that because our relationship, even outside of just being married, like the friendship and being able to have a conversation about anything, everything, all the time really helps. A lot of couples, when they struggle, they don't have anybody to go to. Well, he's my go-to and I'm his. So it's like we don't step outside and have conversations with other people about what's going on. Like, no, if I'm the problem, come talk to me. If you're the problem, I'm going to come talk to you. And I'm real like...
Can y'all tell other people that? Because a lot of people don't understand. They go to their
families.
No, that's the worst thing. And here's the thing. We have like some of the most supportive family members. But I had to learn early on that was just their opinion. They don't live with us. They don't see the ins and outs. And not only that, if I'm talking to my mother about something that's going on, she's only hearing my side of the story. She's not hearing David's part. So she's just, girl, you ought to do this, and girl, you ought to do that based upon what I'm telling her.
Yeah.
So, and
plus she's going to be on your side anyway.
Regardless. Do you hear me? And so then he's super close to my dad. Him and my dad are a lot alike.
Okay.
I met him through my dad.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, through the church and going to church and meeting him through my dad. And so they kind of get together, and when they have their little talks, it's like, yeah, them Bradshaw women something else, man. You know, like that kind of. So we had to learn how to like communicate with one another. Even in the worst conversations, sometimes we have like some of the hardest conversations you could ever imagine. But we'll stay up late at night and just sit there and hash it out. And, you know, I think that what really helped us, it might have made it harder, but having our children. Because it gave us a greater reason to stay, and it gave us something bigger than us. It wasn't just about, even to this day, when we go into situations, we'll cut the argument short because we're like, it's not about us. It's about these four. We have 4 kids now. You know, a 10-year-old, 7-year-old, and twins, 2-year-old twins. So it's not about, and now that our daughter is 10, we realize I've got somebody looking at me, and he's got 3 boys looking at him.
Yeah.
So it's not really about, you know, David and Dalelynn. It's about all of those 4, and that's what's helped me on my journey. Some days when I don't feel like going to the gym, I have 5 people in mind. I'll say Kendall one day, Dylan another day, Devin another day, Kyron another day, and then Dylan's the last day. And those days, I'll think about Kendall my whole workout. And that whole workout is focused on my baby girl. And then the next day is my son. My 7-year-old son has autism. And I think about the struggles and the battles that he deals with on a regular basis and how I can be a blessing to him. So everything about this journey is bigger than me. The People magazine article, I told my mom before the article came out, before I even found out about People, Nikki's death is going to save so many people's lives. It's bigger than just, I feel like we are blessed to be a blessing. And that every struggle, everything that we go through is supposed to help somebody else. It's not just so that I can go flash my money around and be like, look what I got, look what I've accomplished. This is a testament to what hard work and dedication can do. Somebody needs to know that. Somebody feels hopeless. They need to know that it's real. It's very possible.
Now,
So-
Dalelynn, okay, go ahead, Jess.
So at the beginning of your journey, like, how did you change your diet?
So she was like, what do I got to do?
Come on, I need to know.
So
What do you got to do with that mask
You
on
need
your
to stop.
face? Okay. I don't
Go
feel
ahead,
it.
go
Okay.
ahead.
I didn't want to judge her. I was
I
can't judge.
Please judge her.
It's just a
I can't
mask.
judge her.
It's just a mask.
You know, yeah.
Come on, y'all ain't got questions. Y'all got to have questions.
No.
This is.
I've seen her in Music Matters a couple times, and so I just felt like that's just her personality. So I just gonna let her be great. I was just gonna let you
Thank
be great
you
today. You're
for
welcome.
accepting me for me.
I have. I don't have a choice, actually. I'm in your home, so at your house you gotta do what you gotta do. But in my house, baby, that mess got to go.
No, but really, I want to know, how did you start the
I
journey
really wonder why you got the
and
mask
change
on.
your diet?
Go ahead.
That's neither here nor there, man.
Okay,
But
we just
here
go
we
ahead. It's
go,
your
here
day.
we go.
We deal with her day another day.
So at first I got real extreme. Like I told my kids, I was like, we ain't having no fruit snacks in this house. Like, 'cause I didn't want no sugar, right? So I went on the extreme. But then what happened was I actually went and right after I found out her cause of death, I had the lap band done. Okay, so a little bit about the lap band. Lap band is not, it's a bariatric procedure, but it's nothing like the sleeve or the bypass in regards to they're cutting off a portion of your stomach, and like your stomach is actually smaller. With the lap band, there's just putting a band literally around your stomach, and it makes your brain believe that your stomach is smaller because you can make the band tighter or looser, you know, based upon your weight loss goals, should I say. So I did that, lost 90 pounds, but that did not change my diet. That did not change my mindset because like I said, with the band, you can get it tightened and they just put a little needle right here in your stomach, fill it up with saline, tighten the band around your stomach. This is just my experience. You know, they tighten it around. And if it's kind of tight, you're restricted. So you can only eat half a cup of food per meal. So it doesn't matter what that half a cup is. It could be half a cup of Skittles. Like you could just eat only about that portion. And then a couple of hours later, once that food slides down your stomach, you're hungry again, you eat again. So it's just a cycle. It was the worst experience for me because I'm going to tell you.
Why?
Because, again, I did not change my diet. So I was making myself eat or eating stuff I knew I shouldn't be eating. One of the things with the lap band you cannot eat is bread. Okay? The bread does not go down very well with this band being tight around your stomach. So there's no way for this bread to go down. So I would try to eat bread. It would get stuck in the band.
Oof.
Okay, I did not have bariatric insurance because I had insurance, but it wasn't covered under bariatric. So I would have to go to the doctor's office, who did my band. They would have to put that needle in my stomach, withdraw some of that saline so that food can go down. Sometimes if you can't get an appointment right away, you sitting there with that bread sitting in your stomach for like 2 days, 3 days, the weekend, if you can't get in right there in an emergency. So if I couldn't get it to him, there's a clinic here in Houston that actually does like the field removals. And it's not too many people who'll do it if they're not your doctor. So I have to wait over the weekend. So let's say Saturday, happened and I ate a real good meal and the band gets tight, gets stuck. I have to wait until I'd go to the emergency room. How much was it? Like $250?
Yeah, like $250.
Yeah, $250, $300 per
appointment,
time I would go to get that band, that fluid taken out. That happens with eggs. What else? They would like
Rice.
potatoes. just anything that you're normally like comfort food. That's the stuff that would make me feel better. So this is right after my sister's death. I'm grieving, so I'm eating. So that part right there didn't change like it should. So that's why I said the band did not change my mental. So I actually had it removed. And the straw for me to have it removed was we were on vacation with our family. Family friend has a lake house in Mississippi. So we were all vacationing. Even the weather changes the tightness of the band. Sometimes if it's cold outside, that band gets so tight around your stomach. If I'm flying, I can't eat anything for the first day. I have to have like warm liquids the first day after I get off a flight because the band gets tightened up. So that particular week was spring break, and I remember the band got tightened for something. I literally was throwing up the whole spring break trip because I was trying to bring back whatever got stuck, and you can't even get liquids down by now. So during that spring break period, I think I was 272 pounds, and I got down to like 254. How I know how the weight is because we called every doctor's office from Mississippi to Baton Rouge looking for somebody to take the fluid out of my band because I was miserable with my entire family on spring break. So he drove me with my sister, and by the time this time I had my twins, and they're like 5 months old. We drove 3.5 hours from Mississippi to Baton Rouge to get my fluid taken out of my band. When we called those people to ask them how much it was going to be, he told me $350. And it takes 5 minutes to do the procedure. You just lay down, put the needle in there, we'll take the saline, withdraw it, and that's it.
Did you only have to have it done once?
What that
Yeah.
the fluid
To have
taken
the
in and
band
out?
adjusted, yeah.
No. You got to
that
get
was
it
nice.
once a month for the first year.
Oh.
Once a month for the first year, you got to go get that band adjusted, and they tighten just a little bit at a time. So when they first put it in your stomach, it's not tight. And then you go once a month for the first year to get it adjusted so you get to like a happy spot. But even when you find that good spot where food is not, it's not too tight, like I said, weather, all kinds of stuff affects the tightness of the band. Yeah. So that didn't change anything for me. So what I ended up doing is I ended up having it removed. I had it removed 2 years ago. Talked to my doctor. He went ahead and removed the band. I went and got a trainer. So still, my diet was kind of a little bit better, okay, by now. Went and got a trainer. Shout out to my boy LaRon with I Improve. We met the first time, and when I started with him, I did the first, I want to say 2 sessions. It was like 2 8-week sessions. I never met him. We didn't sit down and have a conversation. He just sent me my workout plan. He asked me what my goals were, had me take before and after pictures, and he sent me the plan. I think around that time, I was trying to outwork a bad diet. And I say this to everybody, you cannot outwork a bad diet. You cannot eat what you want and just be like, I'm just going to go hard in the gym and it's going to, nah. I was so depressed the first few weeks working with him because I'm like, I'm not losing anything and it's not working. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I had to change my mind. Okay, I had to get that together. Then I started what worked for me 100% is meal prepping. So I'm very goal-oriented. I have a goal in mind, and I'm very organized. And then when you have 4 kids, I'm not going to change my diet for all 4 of y'all. Y'all going to eat what I eat. So we going to all eat the same thing. I'm eating broccoli, you going to eat broccoli. I got Brussels sprouts, you about to eat Brussels
It was
sprouts.
good broccoli, though.
Yeah, it was. It was. So what I did was I meal prepped, and then, and I still do. We prep on Sunday nights. So we go to the grocery store, like sometime after church or something on Sundays, after we leave, like, because we like real Southern. Like my mom cooks on Sundays and she cooked the whole spread. And so after we leave her house and everybody's eating, we go to the store. I go to the store, get everything, and then get the kids in bed, and then we just lay out the whole food for the whole week. So I went to Sam's, and then even on Amazon you can get like those Tupperware containers that have like the sections, and I just lay everything out for the whole week. Actually on my Instagram I have some in my highlights. I save some of the food so people can get an idea. So for instance, I'll do instead of just regular meatloaf, I'll do what is it called, like the turkey muffin meatloaves. Mm-hmm. And so I put them in like turkey I put them in muffin pans, and then on top of it, I put the red sauce on top, put them in the oven for like an hour and 15 minutes, pop them out, put like 1 or 2, 1 for me, 2 for him inside the little Tupperware containers, and then we head out the house, go to work, go wherever we going. You already have your food. I meal prep my snacks too.
Do you tell people that do you recommend this to most people that they have to meal prep? Because the meal prep and eating the right food goes hand in hand with the working out.
For sure. It's honestly, you lose weight in the kitchen, you get fit in the gym. So you can lose weight without going to the gym. You don't have to go to the gym to lose weight. You can lose weight just by changing your diet. That's why people who do Weight Watchers and all these other programs, they don't promote like, going to the gym. They're not against it, but that's not a part of their program because you can lose weight just by going in the kitchen and changing your diet. So I definitely do recommend it. Now, if you want to get fit, tight, and toned and see some gains and things like that, like you need to go to the gym for that portion of it. So I always tell people, if you don't plan, you will fail. So if you driving down the street and you haven't, decided what you and your kids gonna eat that day, you like, oh Lord, what we gonna eat? So you just stop. The first thing you're gonna do is pull into a fast food place. Yep. Versus when I already have my meals planned and my kids are always like, Mom, what's for dinner today? Like they already know we're not going nowhere. They stopped asking, Mom, we going to Whataburger? No, what's for dinner? Because they know it's already prepped.
They still ask me though.
Yeah, they still ask. They still ask you.
There's still hope.
Yeah.
When
And
did
when
you-
I'm gone, there's plenty of hope.
I don't sabotage the
When I'm
routine. I'm saying,
But they love it. They love
What
it.
did your kids say about your whole journey and your transformation?
Man, the responses are crazy. So my son, my 7-year-old, he just be saying whatever comes to his mind. I kind of want to punch him in his throat. Because he'll say stuff like, when I was overweight, he'll be like, you're so squishy. Your stomach's so squishy. And I was like, I'm about to punch you. But now they'll say things like, you're stronger than daddy. Or you're like, daddy, mommy can beat you up. Like they'll say stuff like that.
That's nice to know.
The person
nice to
that
know,
really has blown me away was my daughter, my 10-year-old. And again, I say that because everything I do, I went back to college. I'm a certified personal trainer now. I did all of this stuff. Everything I do is for Kendall. And I make sure that she knows that because I used to cry to him and be like, but Dave, you don't understand. The boys have somebody to look up to. Kendall don't have anybody, like as far as in our circle, in our lives, me personally, like to look up to aspire to be like. And she used to say stuff to me like, all you do is take naps. All you do is lay in the bed. Like, what do you do? Like, when we're not at school, what do you do? She's very outspoken like a mama. But she would say things like that, and that would crush me because I'm like, she doesn't see me doing anything. And I would, and David would be like, Kendall, don't say that. That's not very nice. And I'm like, no, she's being honest. She's just saying what she sees. She's like 6'7" at the time saying that. So her response when she got the magazine, the article, I have a picture of her like glued to it. And when Dave was driving, we were going somewhere, and she was like, Mom, there's this really pretty lady in the article. And she handed it to me, and I was like, who? And she was like, right here. And she was smiling, and she was looking at me, page 61. So she's like, look at his mommy. So that's probably the coolest part is her response.
Did you change? So your life has totally changed now because now you're totally into fitness.
Yeah.
So this is not the journey you thought you were going to be on.
Absolutely
The-
not.
The journey has changed.
Absolutely.
How has that been?
For me, it's been incredible because I've always known that I wanted to be a life changer. I've always wanted to inspire people. I just didn't know how, and I didn't know what I was going to use. Honestly, I thought I was going to use music, like being a worship leader and singing in church. But then, like, God showed me something. It's like there's so many people that will never step foot in a church that you can impact outside of that. So even though I'm into fitness, I don't see myself as like a trainer. Even though I have that certification, I just see it more so as myself as like a motivational person, but using fitness to motivate people to change their lives. For me, this is all about changing your life. Some people don't need to lose no weight. Some people don't need to, change their life. Some people are going through a divorce. Some people are going through depression, anxiety, grief, whatever the case may be. I just want you to see that if you take proper steps, you can change your life doing anything. And it's not that fake, I'm here to help you change your life. No, it's like, it's going to be some mountains. It's going to be some valleys. It's going to be some dark days. It's going to be a lot of tears, but you can change your life. And so my avenue has just become fitness to do that. And so that's been incredible.
So how can people get in contact with you? Because I'm sure you give people fitness plans and you teach them how to eat better. So how do they contact you so they can do all these things with you?
So we just launched a website. It's behernow.com, www.beehernow.com. And you can go online to check that out. On the website, we're having some fitness tips and, lifestyle changes and things like that on there. Also, I'm on Instagram at Queendales, QueenDalez. I'm really big on Instagram as far as posting my workouts on there. I do a lot of my meal prep and on Instagram as well. I also have a YouTube channel with my name, Dalelynn Settle. And on my YouTube channel, I do share in depth about my sister's passing. I talk about just the journey. I talk about why I think it's important for you to have a trainer if you need a trainer. I also talk about why I cut my hair. I cut all my hair off during the journey because as Black women, we so focused on what our hair looks like, and I wanted to be completely free of that. I didn't want to have any focus on how I'm gonna style my hair, what my weave gonna look like. I talk about the expensive parts of weaves and all that kind of stuff, and I just go into depth about having to accept my face for what it is. And if you don't like what you look like, then that's your hair's not the problem, it's you. So I kind of go into depth about that in one of my videos. I also had skin removal surgery. So I talk about that. I had loose skin.
What is that? Okay.
So I had loose skin on my stomach.
Lost,
Yeah. With my arms and other parts of my body, like it was tightening and toning, and it's been working pretty well. But with my stomach, the skin was not. I mean, they took 8 pounds of skin off. Yeah, they took my I probably on my IG if you have a thing on there, but they took my belly, my birthmark was gone, like because it was just so much skin on there, and so they took all of that off, and I had that done last year in June. So I'm very open about all of that because I don't want people to look at my page and go, oh, her belly is like tight, like if I just do a couple crunches, that's gonna happen. No, I had to get that skin removed from my stomach. So yeah, I talk about that on my YouTube.
So you're honest about all these things.
The whole part of the process.
Wow.
The whole part of the process.
Because people never consider that if you've been if you've grown a lot, that there might be
The
some
skin
very
stretches.
loose. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
it does.
exactly,
This is what they
exactly.
took off.
Oh wow,
Nah,
that.
Yeah, that's what they took off.
Ooh, I don't know if y'all can see that on there.
Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Bancroft.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They took all of that off.
Well, give them the information again where they can.
That's the
Wow.
that's what it looked like, the loose skin. Like that was the night before surgery, and that's a week after surgery. So you see how
That's
it was
a
just
huge
hanging,
difference.
Yeah, its skin was just
Huge
hanging on my back
difference.
as well too. So
Wow.
and I lifted up, and you can actually see it from when I lifted up, the skin moving. And stuff.
That's some honesty right there, because a lot of people would not be that honest about the journey. You know what I'm saying?
I think for me, I always say that I'm looking for. I want to be the person that I was looking for on my journey. That's who I want, and I didn't have that. It's every time you get on Instagram and you see these fit models, everybody shows you the before and the after. And so you're like, well, I feel like I can't get there. What do I have to do to get there? So I try to show people
the
everything
real honest
in between.
truth. Yeah,
everything in between.
Everybody else,
highs and lows.
now I got no operations. I didn't get
Yeah.
nothing cut. I was just, I'm just
Scars and
perfect.
stuff.
I'm just
I
perfect.
sent him a picture just yesterday of a transformation on another site that we saw. And I was like, babe, this is the reason why people don't believe my transformation. I get all kinds of comments on Instagram. They're like, that's not her. That ain't the same girl. And I kind of take it as a compliment, because I'm like, my transformation like blows you away that much that you don't think it's me. But I'll post like my stretch marks on there. Because I have 4 kids. Of course I got stretch marks. And people will be like, I can't believe you did that. Like, I can't believe you would post your stretch marks. So I'll post it before and after like that. You know, and they'll be like, I can't believe you showed your scars. Well, that's a part of my journey. That's a part of my process. And I saw someone yesterday post the before and after and like completely airbrushed. Like it just looked like those T-shirts from Sharpstown. We back in the day when we used to go to Sharpstown and see the airbrush. Like, why would you do that? Because now everybody, they're not even focusing on your process. They're just focusing on the work that you did to the photo. So every time you see a photo posted of me, it's completely non-Photoshop, non-airbrush, because I want people to see the real deal. You still gonna have stretch marks. You still gonna have, all of that jazz, but it's gonna be the real deal.
Well, some of the story is in the People magazine, this January edition, if you will. Page 61, as she said right there. So you can see it. But you can truly get the story when they go online. So give them that information again.
Yeah, so my Instagram is Queen Dales. That's QueenDalez. My what else? Website. That's what it was. It's www.beehernow.com. It's inspiring women to be the women that they were created to be, the queens we are created to be now. And I'm also on YouTube with my name, Dalelynn Settle. And if you want to check out the article online, it's people.com, and you can just search my name and you'll see the half their size edition.
Dale, thank you so much. Mr.
Absolutely.
Dave, appreciate it, bro. Y'all
Thank
continue
y'all.
the good work, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
so much.